everyone, welcome back to Sydney and Starlet, and if you're new here, welcome, enjoy the videos. So today me and Sydney are going to be reading The Girl Who Would Be Free book by Ryan Holiday. So let's begin. Now this book that we have here is signed by the author himself, Ryan Holiday, Amor, Fati. What is it, the fruit of these teachings? Only the most beautiful and proper harvest of the truly educated, tranquility, fearlessness, and freedom. Epictetus. You might think that everyone has it as good as you. But Epictetus didn't. She was born a slave. And most of Rome's slaves were miserable. They did hard jobs. They fought in the Colosseum. They served the rich while the rich took advantage. Yet somehow, Epictetus' father was always cheerful. Who has it better than us? He liked to ask. Everyone, she would reply. We have our health, we have each other, he'd say with a smile. I love life and all it brings me. Simple as that. When her father was like this, Epictetus would just shake her head and get back to work. To be a slave in Rome was to work for free, all the time. It was not an easy life, and sometimes it would get the best of Epictetus. We didn't choose this, her father would remind her, but we can choose not to add to our troubles by complaining about them. Still, Epictetus would sneak off when no one was looking. How you do anything is how you do everything, her father would say. And if you do it well, it can be beautiful, no matter what it is. One day, she and her father were sent to dig a sewage canal. She was disgusted. He jumped right in. This is humiliating, she complained. Oh, do I embarrass you? Her father said. By doing my job? No one has the power to degrade us. Only themselves by being unfair and unkind. Still, most slaves kept opinions like this to themselves. A nail that stands up gets hammered down, they used to say. Epictetus' father refused. What makes a garment beautiful? He said. The colorful threads that stand out. You are too special to let yourself blend in. In time, their work was noticed, and Epictetus and her father were brought to work in the palace. There, she saw that the good life wasn't always better. She saw their parties. She saw what they said about each other. She saw lying, cheating, and bribing. They worked so hard to make more money, to be more famous, her father said. What if they just tried to be better people? Me, he said. I delight in improving myself. And you. The emperor was vain, and his sycophants were pathetic. For all their wealth, they didn't seem to have much. I am down to my last million, she heard a man exclaim. My God, the emperor marveled. How can you bear it? Enough is enough for those whom enough is too little, her father said. There are plenty of free people in prisons of their own making. slaves to habits and bad decisions. You might think that this is all playing with words, which it is, because the words we use matter. Epictetus' father never let his daughter describe herself as poor or unlucky. He never let her say things were terrible or unfair. Life just is, he explained. It's our opinion about it that makes it hard. The best lessons aren't spoken. Epictetus' father rarely talked about his beliefs. He just lived them. He never complained about the weather. He never cared about what other people thought. He never resented their situation. Instead, he put his energy towards things that were up to him. And every night, he reviewed the day to see what he could have done better. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, he prayed, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You can imagine that there was a lot they couldn't change. I wish I was free, Epictetus said sadly. Of course you do, her father told her, and one day you will be. If someone gave me a sword, I'd free myself right now, she declared. I'm sure you would, little Spartacus, he said. But as she showed her father how she would fight, she slipped and fell, hurting her leg very badly. Her recovery was slow and painful. In the end, she had a limp. I am disabled, she cried. Did you injure your mind? Her father asked. No, she replied. Was your soul hurt? He asked. I guess not, she stammered. Was your sense of right and wrong affected? No, but... Well, then you are perfectly able, he said. I think you need to focus more on who controls the empire between your ears and less between what happened to your leg. And with that, he sent his daughter to her first philosophy class. She worried. Would she fit in? Would they judge her for her gender, for her limp, for being a slave? On the first day, a rich boy did exactly that. Girls can't study philosophy, he said with a sneer. You're right, came the voice of Musonius Rufus, her new teacher. Some of us are not worthy of studying philosophy. Then he kicked the boy out of class. It doesn't matter who you are or what you come from, Musonius said. What matters is if you're dedicated to excellence. Musonius wouldn't let her hold a grudge. Remember, we are complicit when we take offense. No one can make us feel inferior without our help, he said. Something is only harmful if you allow it to hurt your character. Musonius was not an easy teacher. He demanded silence. He did not accept mistakes. Most of all, he didn't tolerate ego. It's impossible to learn what you think you already know, he would tell them often. To a student who protested that he'd read more books than anyone in the class, Musonius said it wasn't that we read, but what we read and how we read, or read. He loved to talk about ideas he disagreed with and encouraged students to point out when they thought he was wrong. He quoted from rival philosophers too. I'll cite a bad author if the line is good, he said. Never be satisfied just getting the gist of something, he told them. You must linger on your studies. Let it soak in. And the way to prove you've really learned something is by putting your own spin to it. In Epictetus, Musanus saw potential. How much longer are you going to wait to demand the best for yourself? He asked her as she sat quietly in the back. I'm a slave, she would reply. I don't matter. A person's worth is no greater than their ambition, he said. Expect nothing and you'll be nothing. How can I possibly become something? She said. Look at my life. Look at my leg. Look at where I come from. You're right, he said. From birth, you've had to wrestle with fortune each and every day, and she is a strong, sparing partner. But that is why you have an advantage over other students. Epictetus was confused. She didn't feel like she had any advantage. Epictetus was confused. She didn't feel like she had any advantages. Every situation has two handles, Musanus explained. We grab the one that empowers us, or the one that doesn't. We can see the obstacle or the opportunity. You might like to hear that everything went wonderfully for Epictetus after that. But fortune, as always, had surprises in store. Their house was robbed. Her father got sick. Life is very short, her father told her with his final words. To take it or other people for granted, to wish things had been different, is to waste your life. Amor Fati, my dear. Amor Fati. The next day, Epictetus learned that she and Musanus had been exiled for daring to study philosophy, for standing out. Very well, Musanus said with a shrug. Then we'll have a nice lunch on the road. A tyrant can change where we live, Musanus said, but they can't stop us from acting with courage, temperance, justice, or wisdom. You know, Epictetus said, when you put it like that, I'm not sure they have any power over us at all. Away from Rome, Epictetus founded her own school, adding to Musanus's teachings, her father's lessons, and her own discoveries from the school of life. Far and wide, students came. Her fame grew. Her influence spread. One day, a message arrived from the new emperor, Marcus Aurelius. He had been told of Epictetus from his own teacher, Rusticus. I hereby grant you your freedom, it read. Epictetus smiled and laughed. I was free the moment I chose to be. It is half of Rome who is in chains. I love my life and all I've been through. Nobody has it better than me, she said to the king. Not even you. You might not believe it, but it's true. Whether you were born to a high or low place, whether you're strong or weak, young or old, the freedom you seek is inside you. It rests between your ears, in the words you use, in the decisions you make, in the handle you grabbed. You are free if you choose to be. You can always find something to be happy about. Amor Fati. It's as simple as that. The end. And so you've heard this book use the words Amor Fati quite a few times. It's even in Ryan Holiday's signature right here, which thank you for that. That's lovely. But I'm about to tell you what Amor Fati means. So we have a coin from Ryan Holiday's coin collection that says Amor Fati on it, and it has this that will explain the meaning of it. It shows it right here, but this shows a deeper meaning to it. Let me read this for you first. Not merely to bear what is necessary, but to love it. That's what this says. But now, to go deeper into this, let me read this for you all. Okay, it says, Amor Fati is a mindset for making the best out of anything that happens, treating each and every moment, no matter how challenging, as something to be embraced, not avoided. To not only be okay with it, but to love it and be better for it. So that, like oxygen to a fire, obstacles and adversity become fuel for your potential. The flame on the front is inspired by Marcus Aurelius's timeless wisdom. A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. The back features an expert of the great philosopher Frederick formula for greatness. Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. And that's what it says. So there's the meaning of Amor Fati, in case you were wondering if you learned something new today. Hopefully you all learned a lot of new things today. So that is it for today, everyone. Really hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Pick out your favorite page. What's your favorite thing in this book?
Up.
The word up is your favorite thing. Wow. Okay. Bye-bye.